WorldGorger Dragon is an infamous combo in Magic the Gathering. Not really because it's specifically great right now, but because it was great. It's old Magic, and when played correctly, it can be just as powerful as new Magic. Recently we had Kroxa, a notable WorldGorger Dragon on the channel, and it had a strangely great showing. The cards we're looking for in this combo are Entomb and Animate Dead. 3 mana total, that's it. Realistically, we just need any way to get WorldGorger into the graveyard plus an enchantment that reanimates something. Dance of the Dead and Necromancy also do the same thing as Animate Dead, and Unmarked Grave and something like a Faithless Looting plus the WorldGorger in your hand will do the same thing as Entomb, so it's nice that you have some redundancy. At 3 mana and 2 cards though, this is comparable to Mana Consultation and Thassa's Oracle, but here's where it differs. Thorkel Demcom doesn't need anything else, those 2 cards and you win the game. This combo has a few more steps. We'll also need another creature in the graveyard. The way this combo works is that you'll Animate Dead the WorldGorger, and the WorldGorger will come in and exile all of your permanents, including the Animate Dead. Once the Animate Dead leaves the battlefield, it will have your WorldGorger Dragon sacrifice. Once your WorldGorger Dragon sacrifices, all the things that you exiled with it will come back, including the Animate Dead, which will once again reanimate the WorldGorger and restart the loop. The reason you'll need another creature in the graveyard is otherwise this loop never stops. You'll just reanimate the WorldGorger over and over and over again, and it'll force a draw, which isn't ideal. Eventually you will need to target something else besides the WorldGorger Dragon. Now remember, everything in Magic has an asterisk on it, so you won't need another creature in your graveyard. If you have something like an Orcish Bowmaster out, it'll go away and come back with the rest of your permanents and deal a damage to a player each time, so even though your loop will be going on forever, your opponents will lose the game before that happens. But say you don't have a card that deals damage each time it enters, how do you actually win the game by putting all of your permanents into play over and over again? Well, one way would be to tap your mana sources in between each trigger. You'll get priority again each trigger, so once the permanents come back, but before you exile them again, you can tap them for mana. This is a demonstratable loop for as much mana as you'd like. So once you get to around 420 billion mana, you can stop, Animate Dead something else, and then use that mana to win the game. In cEDH, something like casting Kroxa, since it sacrifices itself over and over again, will do it, but of course just something like activating Thrasios to draw your deck and win with whatever you want is also an option. The issue with this combo, besides needing another creature in the graveyard or something with a good enters trigger, is that if anyone has removal, there is a window to destroy your WorldGorger Dragon with its exile all permanents trigger on the stack. Destroying the dragon here puts a trigger to return all permanents with it on the stack, but the permanents aren't exiled yet, so nothing comes back. Then the trigger to exile your permanents resolves. Now all of your permanents are gone, but there is no more WorldGorger Dragon, so there's no way to trigger it to leave to have them come back. So you are left with no permanents. Very sad. But if they don't have removal, you're good to go. Now that's a combo.